What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm the Prodigy,
It's the Magic Man.
and this is another episode of the Rundown with the Prodigy, the Magic Man. Today we're going to do a recap of this past weekend's fights. UFC Fight
Wichita.
Night, Wichita. Derek Lewis versus Junior Dos Santos. So we'll do a rundown of that, and then we're going to take our picks for this weekend's fights, with his UFC Fight Night London. Darren Till versus George Masvidal, or Jorge Masvidal. Jorge Masvidal.
Come on, man.
We'll just
Kick it off?
Yeah, we'll start it off with Dan Moret versus Alex White.
White,
Right?
155. We sadly picked up Dame Red, I believe.
We did, yeah.
Just because he's a
White,
hometown kid. Hometown kid, hometown man, I guess.
Yeah, from the States. So.
But anyways, it looked like from what I read on the play-by-plays, Moret came up really strong the first round, controlled the first round, but White kind of settled in and took control these second and third round and
Yeah, that's what I
push the
got
pace.
to. And that Alex White, he has a little bit of experience in the UFC, as Dan Moret does as well. But Alex White, he kind of has a little more better competition, I think, in the UFC. Like he
Higher
fought,
caliber.
higher caliber opponents. He fought. Why am I losing the name right now? Tony Martin.
Okay.
And Tony
One of the
Martin,
best, right?
Yeah, and Tony Martin actually beat him by decision. So, it's good to see that. For Alex White, that he's lost a decision and won a decision. So he's kind of coming up. Unfortunate for Dan Moret. I think it's another loss in the UFC for him, but it gets tough. He's going to come back strong. He's with a great gym, so hopefully he can pick up those holes and come back and get another win in the UFC, or maybe if he does get cut, unfortunately, which is something that happens a lot nowadays. In the UFC.
There's a bunch of promotions out there.
Yeah, there's so many fighters in the UFC too. Once you get cut, and there's Bellator. There's so many other options now. And Dan's good enough that he could probably go, somewhere overseas or something. So, it's unfortunate that he lost, but again, it's just another learning experience for him, and he'll come back stronger. I believe that.
There's another fight that I didn't put on there, which would have been the next fight on the list, was the Zach Otto and Alex Morales, which Zach Otto's from Pura Vida in Wisconsin.
Yep, and that's pretty close to
And he lost, but because he just came off a win in the UFC, but he lost like 3 or 4 in a row. But he lost the first round TKO, I believe.
Zach did.
Zach.
Yeah, that's one of the ones I skipped over just because we were just kind of trying to get a certain amount of these fights covered. But yeah, that's unfortunate too. Another guy's pretty close, a Midwest guy, so we always kind of root for them.
Yeah.
The next fight though that we'll kind of get to, again, Moret, it sounds like he came out real strong that first round. Second and third round just really didn't go his way, and and again, these guys are coming up and they're still kind of getting their feet wet in the UFC and in these big promotions. So there's just holes he's gonna have to fix and come back stronger. Another fight though that actually sounded like a really good fight. From the
Sounds like it was back and forth the whole time.
Yeah, sounds like it was back and forth.
Because the read that I had actually picked the other guy for the win.
That's what I see it as well. Yeah, they thought he won 29-28 as well. But so it was Jeff Hughes versus Maurice Green.
Which is another start guy.
Yeah, and Maurice, he trains under the same affiliate that we do, Start BJJ, and so of course it was the guy we were kind of going for. It's real close to us. We actually been able to meet him recently, and we were on the MASVIDAL for a little while at a seminar. So another guy we picked to win, but this fight sounds like it was one of those ones that
3-round boxing match.
Yeah, and it kind of came down to just who could really dig deep and gut it out. That last.
It sounded like every round they closed it out, swinging for the bell, but
Yep, and it sounds like Maurice is at the end of the rounds was just kind of getting the better,
catching those last couple shots.
And I know that Jeff rocked him right away at the beginning of the first round, maybe 2 minutes in or something like that, and Maurice battled back and pinned him against the cage, was working pretty good. So it seemed like it was just a really good back and forth fight.
Split decision win.
Yeah, split decision. So and that's good because Maurice lost. Yeah, exactly.
And this was the rematch, right?
Yep.
So he got
Maurice
the win
had lost
back
to this guy already. So so maybe they'll do a third one down the road.
I was saying 5 years when they're both fighting for a championship.
Yeah, and Maurice and Jeff Hughes, the same thing. They're just like Dan Moret and Alex White. They're just kind of getting their feet wet, and they're just kind of really getting.
Because they came off the Contender Series, right?
I think these two
Or
were
was
on
it tough?
the Ultimate Fighter. Yeah.
Okay.
Ultimate Fighter, the last heavyweight that they just did. But again, it's just one of those things where this was their first. I think first or second actual fight in the UFC. I think maybe it was their second.
It would have been like the finale. Or
Yeah, they would have fought in the finale. I think Maurice won that one by a triangle. But again, it's good to see him come out and avenge that loss in a fight that's grueling, where you kind of really got to dig deep and really find out what you're made of and if this is really what you want.
Right.
Because a lot of guys break at that point, and luckily Maurice was able to just kind of land a few more shots and get a little more points ahead on the
At least in the
scorecards.
judges' eyes.
Yeah, and like I said, you saw it too. The other guy, Jeff Hughes, was actually picked for the winner on the form that I seen.
So we never leave it to the judges, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And Maurice took the win on the 3 judges that mattered at the cage side, and really that's what it comes down to. Our opinion doesn't matter what whoever writes anything. It's really those 3 judges.
Right.
So. Thank you for the 3 judges. I'm glad that Maurice won, and it's another step forward for him and for Start BJJ. And so that looks really good for us and for him as well. And I'm sure, again, Jeff Hughes is another guy getting his feet wet. He's going to come back strong. And, it sounded like it was a grueling fight, so I'd like to see them both get
It's the next one.
pretty good fight. The next one I heard was really wild.
You saw the
actually
Instagram,
sent
right?
me, yeah, you sent me that Instagram video. You get to say the names, though, because I don't know these ones up.
It's Yana Kunitskaya. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
That's not right because that's not like European slang, but
Yeah.
and then it's Marion Reynau.
Yeah, I think Renal is how you say that.
We're just gonna go with Yana, and that's by unanimous.
Yeah.
She came out the second round, fucking heavy kickboxing, controlling the cage and got a couple takedowns.
We're allowed to swear. It's
Okay, I didn't know if this was gonna be fair.
No, it's fine.
Good.
Every now and then.
But yeah, she got a couple takedowns, controlled the cage. Marianne got up with the takedowns, but then Yana just kept pushing the pace with her boxing.
Yep, that Marianne was landing punches, it sounded like, but she just couldn't get this other girl off of her. Just couldn't get her off her, and every time she did, she landed a punch, but then again, it just closed that distance. And what I have seen was that she was using really good leg kicks and low
inside
kicks.
leg kicks?
Yeah. And that was really beating up Renal's legs, and it made it really hard for her to get any offense.
Because I want to say that this is 115, right?
Yeah, 115.
I want to say that she's fought Johanna before.
Did she?
It was a while ago, but maybe not.
I think it's that other girl I was telling you about that fought Joanna. The other blonde girl.
Okay.
Yep, I think it was her, but I can't think of her name.
Anyways, Reynau did make kind of a comeback in the 3rd round.
Yep.
Shattered Yana's
broke her
nose.
nose. See, again, she was landing that straight right, right, and then the 3rd round, she actually landed a really good clean punch.
Because we saw the Instagram of her in the hospital with a face mask on, and she was just trying to laugh through the pain,
And you can see the one eye was
coach.
completely swollen shut already. The nose, you can tell, was already broken and swollen. Yeah,
that's
her
gonna be
coach.
some cosmetic surgery.
Yeah, and it's part of the game, man. But it was a brawl, and it sounds like I'm not sure who won fight of the night, but it sounds like they were definitely in the running for.
I would have given them it too.
So I'm not sure exactly who won because there was some pretty good heavyweight fights later in the card that we're gonna get to, but that was definitely a brawl, and it's good to see two lighter weight.
I was reading a lot of the comments and stuff, and people keep saying "Oh, I never get excited for women's fights." I'm like, I usually get more excited for them now. I mean, I would rather watch a good women's fight than a 135, 125.
I agree with that.
You know what I mean?
I agree for sure.
Just because they're coming to fight.
And the girls are gritty, man. They have something to prove. A lot of them girls, man. You see it too with Joanna and a lot of those girls, and Rose Namajuanas. Those girls come to fight. They don't come to play pitter patter and fight. They come to brawl. And same with these 2 girls. They came out to just go after it. And that 3rd round is really where you kind of see, Joanna, or how do you say her name? Yana was in control, but there was no quit. And Reina, and she was, she was in the fight to the very end. And again, they were just brawling. It looked like it was a bloody fight.
Yeah.
Because from what I could see again in that Instagram video, she was covered in blood. And just her nose just.
Her and her coach were just laughing. I was like, slapped in her pain.
Coach is, I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he is pretty badass himself. He was a pretty good kickboxer back in the day. He fought Mark Hunt kickboxing and stuff. And he was a really good.
He looked like a little
Ray Cepho, I think his name is. Yeah, Ray Cepho, I think is how that was pronounced. But yeah, he was a pretty good kickboxer too. So she comes from a good gym. She's got really good technique. You can tell too, and she was mixing up well with her low kicks and cage control. And she won those 1st and 2nd round. Definitely lost the 3rd round, but it was a good showing for both girls. I think. I don't think they could. Either one of them have anything to hang their head about. Yeah. The next fight is one that we're really excited about. That I actually got to see some highlights from, and I was super excited for this fight. And it went a lot of the way I thought it was going to, but I thought it was going to be a little more on the ground. I thought Tony was going to control a lot of the fight. But so the fight for everybody is Tony Martin versus Sergio Moraes. Tony won a unanimous decision, 30-27 on all 3 of the judges' scorecards. And from what I can tell, again, low kicks was a good point in this fight too. He
Yeah.
kept away with got.
I feel like he controlled him with his jab from what I read, and then some kicks. I think he did have a takedown early in the fight.
Yep.
But it wasn't. I think he ended in like side control. Somewhere got
Yeah,
swept.
I think Moraes went for a
Guillotine?
Went for a guillotine, yeah, but had it
Yep.
deep. But Tony wasn't. I think he landed in a half guard, so it was an
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, Tony was just in control, kept the pace, kept his distance, and knew exactly where he wanted to be and where he wanted his fighter to be, and kept him there the whole time, and didn't really put himself in any danger. The last 30 seconds, he was in a little bit of danger. The guy jumped on like a Hail Mary guillotine choke, but
Yep.
Tony
That's
didn't
what I
really
was-
seem like he was in too much of danger from what I seen of the choke, and ended up riding it out to the bell.
No man, that's in the third round.
Yeah, that happened.
Where Sergio got a takedown.
Takedown final 30 seconds. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, he jumped on that guillotine right away, right there. Yep. And but yeah, again, Tony just, and we know Tony comes from a good gym. Trains with really good guys. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. So.
He's at ATT right now,
Yeah,
right?
he's at ATT. He was in
American Top Team for those
yeah,
who don't know.
American Top Team of down there in
Coconut Beach?
Florida. Yep. And then he was at.
Because it was cool. I saw like in his quarters, a couple of my favorite people, Brock,
Yep.
and then
Thiago
Alves, man. Because I've been talking about it for the last 3 days.
You've been hyped my ear about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is awesome. It's so cool to see somebody that we're so close to, like Brock, right next to somebody that we kind of idolize. And see.
Yeah, I remember being like 15, just like,
And back then, when we were young, Thiago Alves was the man.
Monster.
He would kick people's legs off.
there was
lunge
no
them.
roids involved, I
No.
swear. But,
He
anywho.
made massive weight cuts too. That guy did.
Yeah, and he was just
one of
like-
those guys made huge weight cuts.
huge.
Yeah.
Just jacked.
Definitely. And you could tell that him and Tony been working together. Those
I told you I saw the Instagram video. Them running mitts, and I was just like,
And it made sense once you seen the fight. It really made sense, that jab and low kick, and that was again Thiago's number one thing he did a lot in his fights was that
Sure.
1-2 leg kick. And
Tony, if you
I've
ever
seen
want to
him
take me
kick
down to
people's thighs
Florida.
to where they're purple. Oh, we'll go to Florida. We'll just not talk to Brock. Hopefully he'll take us. Yeah, so again, Tony controlled this whole fight. Another good win for our star BJJ, for Tony Martin himself. And again, just for the Midwest, it looks good for a lot of guys. I know Tony's now not trained out of the Midwest, but
But he comes from Wisconsin.
he comes from Wisconsin. He trained in Minnesota, well, like almost all the way up until he got to the UFC with Brock Larson, and he actually is now, the co-owner of our Start BJJ,
Minnesota Start.
Minnesota, yep, our affiliate. And if it wasn't for Tony, again, we said this on the last podcast when we were kind of taking our picks for these fights, that Tony's a really big part of what happens to our gym right now.
Yeah.
And so again, we're always rooting for him. And
You know, it's
awesome
exciting
to
been
see
watching him
that
because,
stuff.
like, it's probably been like a year and a half. Like, I first heard of him,
Yep.
And, like, he's probably had 4 fights since then.
Yeah, I think this was his 5th fight in the UFC. So yeah.
Yeah, so, and I've watched him win every one.
Right.
It's been exciting, and, like, it's good to see somebody from the Midwest from home, start to make that run.
Yeah, and
The
it's,
bigger-
and it's not just like another guy like like when we talk about Dan Red or that Ottawa, those are Midwest guys, but these guys are actually affiliated with us.
Yeah.
We wear our badges to all of our gyms and everything. Our gear is the same exact gear there says.
Yeah.
So it's really close to home to us, and it's awesome to see him get a step up, and hopefully we can get him on the podcast at some point. We can maybe go up there and roll with him. Me and you can go up there and hopefully roll with him and Maurice at some point and get them on the podcast.
Get beat up a little bit.
Yeah, hopefully they'll kick our ass. Most likely they'll kick our ass. 'Cause, I mean, if you see what they do in the cage, yeah. And I didn't realize
I don't wanna
Maurice
touch
is so
those lines.
giant. He's a giant.
I saw him at the
man.
tournament 2 weekends ago now.
Yep.
Yeah. I was walking through and I looked up and I was like, oh, he looks familiar. And then it clicked with who it was
Yeah.
because then Brock was rolling. And
Yeah, at the seminar I seen it, I was just like, holy shit, that is a fucking monster of a man.
Right.
So yeah, big ups to Tony. Sergio Moraes, again, he just had some holes that Tony actually was very
Capitalize on.
yeah, he's and very good too. He saw that leg was always open. He saw his jab was working. He saw his distance was good, and he just kept it there the whole time. So again, Sergio was just a step behind, and big ups to Tony and hopefully another step. And I know that he's begging. I guess not begging, but he's preaching about how he wants to be on that Minneapolis card coming up soon. And he said that he's done all of the things. Yeah, you too, Jay. We'll get you on there. But again, he said that he's done all the right things. He's won his last couple of fights. He's 4-0 at 170. I think he was 2-1 or 2. Maybe he was 4-4 at 155, something like that. But he's undefeated at 170. Now he's looking for hopefully a top 10 guy. Is what he was saying. I seen his interview.
He's got to be right outside of the top 10 right
He's
now.
got to be close. So hopefully he can get on that card. Maybe they'll give him a top 10 or top 15 guy. But like I read in his interview, he said that the top 10, top 15 are always fluctuating, switching back and forth between guys. So he wants to get in that top 10, and he feels like if he gets in that top 10, he can stay there.
Yeah.
Which I agree. Some of his last performances look very, very good. And he's on his way up. So
55 would be Holloway, Ferguson. Khabib, Holloway, Ferguson. Holloway's coming up from 45, so Ferguson. Who would make the top 5 there then?
Poirier's up there.
Poirier.
Yep. They're probably going to put McGregor still in there somewhere.
Who's Poirier fighting?
He's fighting Holloway. Yep, him and Max Holloway are fighting coming up.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that's going to be a good fight.
Right.
So yeah, again, congratulations to Tony and Maurice. That's awesome for Star BJJ and everything that we kind of got going on. Again, hopefully those are two guys that we could possibly get on the podcast since they are so close to us. The next fight
that finishes up the undercard.
Yeah, that was the undercard. So now this is the first fight in the main card.
Yep.
Which I think
I'll
if
give
I
you a
was
crack at
correct.
this time.
Oh yeah, okay. Tim Boach
Not
versus
that one.
Yeah, I'm working on it. It's Alchemedov.
Yep, there you go.
I was practicing earlier. I kept saying in my head, Alchemedov.
Sorry if I laughed too
No,
loud.
you're going.
I heard
buddy.
complaints.
Have you? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's because I talk too quiet. But once we get mics, bro, it's be awesome. We're so close to people. We're so close to getting new mics and everything. It's within the next 2 weeks we're gonna have new mics, and so hopefully maybe this podcast will be the last one, or one more after this will be. And then we'll have all the new equipment. Yeah, it'll be 2.0. So again, Akhmedov versus Tim Boach, which is a fight that went pretty close to where I thought it was going to be, kind of that like grueling, tough fight where they're both going to kind of work for takedowns.
But I believe or at least I think I picked the other one.
Yep, I got this one right. I was actually right on this one. And so Akhmedov ended up winning a unanimous decision.
I heard he broke Tim's face.
Yeah, but it sounded like it was pretty close up until that third round. He broke his nose. They were kind of going back and forth. Akhmedov was getting some takedowns and stuff. Again, Tim Boach though was so durable, and I called that before.
Just keeps grinding in.
Yeah, and he just keeps coming forward. And I know that he had his nose broken, and he kept marching forward, kept coming forward. And, it sounds like Akhmedov was doing really good at just picking and moving, or sticking and moving, and just picking his shots and moving and getting out of the way. And Tim Boach was landing punches, and then he'd miss a punch, and Akhmedov would just capitalize on it. It sounds like basically that was how a lot of the fight went until that third round where Boach kind of got his nose broken. You could visibly see, that Akhmedov was landing a lot more excessively than Tim Boach was, which sounds like it was a pretty exciting fight. Again, I didn't get to see the highlights of this one.
I just read the breakdown and the play-by-plays.
But that's good. Akhmedov, I know he's been around for a little while. He's had his ups and downs. And I want to say he was off for a little while, maybe for, and I say this kind of tentatively, but maybe for some kind of steroids or something like that. But he had a little bit of a layoff.
Had to sit down for a little while?
Yeah, which a lot of them were doing that. And again, the next guy in the next fight as well, same thing with him. But, unfortunately, when we get to the top level, especially with these guys,
especially these people that were kind of running from like that 2008 to now.
Right.
They were in the stage where nobody cared, running into like
there's no
where all of a
that.
sudden this is a deal, And to get clean and get off stuff
And not only that, I mean, it's got to be a lot of pressure on these guys, because I mean they get to the top 10, and then their bodies, their skills, whatever isn't top 10 level. And so they're trying to do whatever it is to make it to where they can stay at that top level, to make that money for their family.
Just talking about the next fight, like Ben Rothwell was working into that. Was working into that top 5, I believe.
Yep.
And then he got the suspension.
Yep. And again, it was one of those things too where I think for Ben was, he got to that point and he needed to figure out what was able to take him to that next level.
And also, this is something like, not saying he was or wasn't, but he could have been on before.
Yep.
USADA came in, and it might not even been steroids. It could have been some other, because they got things on aspirin and all sorts of things.
Supplement.
It could have been some stupid supplement that, because he never was like a jack dude.
Yeah.
So
No,
like,
never was. No.
It could have been, and I'm not gonna say for or against, but you know.
And again, if you're gonna kind of bring it, talk about it like that, the same thing with John Jones. John Jones failed 2 of his 5 tests for the last Anthony Smith fight because of picograms.
Yeah.
So who's to say that Ben Rothwell hasn't been doing steroids or did steroids before.
I remember,
now it's still in
was
the
the
system,
last
you know?
podcast, or was it you that I was talking about? They had one other fighter that was coming back. Who was having the same issue with their picograms, but they weren't going to release the name yet.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Okay, I heard it on a podcast or something.
But that makes sense, though. I mean, and again,
And
it could have been Ben Rothwell, the same as I think. Could have been, because he's not always been in the UFC, and he had maybe 30 fights for UFC. So who knows, something that he took prior to the UFC, and now it's coming back as picograms, you know, and you never know.
What do they say, lay dormant?
Yeah, dormant in your system. And,
Yeah.
and you know, they say that with a lot of stuff. You know, like when you're cutting weight or any of that kind of stuff, a lot of that stuff stays
And
in
I'm
your fat
like,
cells.
anyways, to actually talk about the fight,
Yeah.
I've heard a couple things from my play-by-play that I read on the internet. It said that it was kind of a first round for Rothwell, and then the second and third round, Ivanov kind of took control and pushed the pace and kind of won the fight.
Exactly.
But from the podcast that I listened to, Brendan Schaub was saying that there's no way Rothwell lost his fight. What were the refs talking about? Which makes me wish that I could have actually seen it. But yeah, because it sounds like it was close. Standoff, you know, boxing back and forth. But
It sounds like it was really similar to the Tim Boach Alchemedov fight.
Well, it sounds like a lot of these fights could have gone either way.
Yeah, it sounds like it was really close. And again, and this is a fight too, just like the Morris Green fight. When I read my play-by-play, they had been winning, but they had been winning 29-28 on all three cards. When they spanned and when it actually came out, Ivanov won 29-28 on all three judges' scorecards. So it wasn't, it was a decision, but it wasn't, clear-cut decision.
Yeah.
But all three judges did give it to him, so they must have seen the same things and were kind of looking for the same criteria. And whatever criteria those three judges were looking for, Ivanov must have just done a little bit better and kind of met that standard of what they were looking for. But again, it sounds like for, the Tim Boach Alchemedov fight and Ben and Ivanov, like, it's not a fight that's gonna knock them down too much.
Because I don't think neither of them were close to the top 10.
No, and they're not gonna go. I don't think they're gonna go down either. And, they'll get another good heavyweight fight where maybe they'll switch it up. Maybe Tim Boach will fight Ben Rothwell, and now Ivanov will fight Alchemedov. And winner. Because and then they'll kind of work their way up that way, which is really good fights. I think it'd be some grueling fights too, because it sounds like, again, the two guys that lost the same way. The two guys that won the same way. So it's kind of very similar fights, and could make for really good fights down the road. And again, maybe some of these guys will, go and maybe fight Jeff Hughes or Maurice Green, depending on how good they think those guys are, or what they think, their standings are in the rankings. But again, these are just a bunch of big fucking guys like to come out and fight. It's very hard.
And once you get out of the top 5, the heavyweight division is really open.
Very, very open, very loose.
So 2 or 3 wins from any of these guys, you could be in the top 10, top 8. 100%. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like you said, Ben Rothwell, he got knocked back down. He's probably, I don't know if he's in the top 10 rankings now.
I don't believe none of them, any of them.
I think
none of them.
The steroids thing, I think he, after the suspension, he got knocked down. But again, that's a guy that worked his way up there. So maybe a couple more wins from either one of these guys, and they'll be right there.
Yeah.
And again, that heavyweight division is so easy, or not, I guess not easy, but it's so open-ended that, that's very rare to be like a high level over each heavyweight. They're all pretty close, like Pomir's definitely a step
once you
above
get that
everybody
big,
else.
all you need is one right hand to finish a fight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then we see that,
And what do they say? Power's the last to go?
Yeah, power's last to go. Yeah, yeah, we'll talk about that later, but yeah, that seems to be the case too in a lot of the last few years, with Henderson and guys like those. And there's probably quite a few years past their prime physically, but still they're in there throwing fucking haymakers and knocking people out. And speaking of knockouts, the next fight was wild. I actually think who'd you pick for the last fight? Did you pick?
I'm sure I picked Rothwell.
So, and I think I want to get into on that one too. Maybe not. I'll have to go back and look, but yeah. So we've been pretty up and down with this one.
Because I know I picked Yana, I know I picked Tony, and I know I picked Maurice.
Yep. And so I think we three picked those ones. I remember we switched on Boach and
Alchemedov.
Yep, and then Rothwell and Ivanov, I think we did too. And the next one I know you picked.
I think you convinced me to take Tim.
Yeah, well, because you picked. No, I took.
I picked him. You picked
because you
Price.
wanted the veterans. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're the veteran guy.
Yeah. I
But
like
okay, so the next fight, which was an awesome fight, and I got to see a lot of the highlights again. When these fights are on like these ESPN Plus cards and stuff, you got to pay for. Really, we just get the highlights of them, and we try to do the best to kind of read all the play-by-plays and everything that everybody's seeing. They do any podcasts,
I
anything
learned how
on
to
it, we try to
study.
watch those. Yeah, we actually we didn't learn it in high school, but we learned it for fighting. So.
Right? Give me something I like.
Right? So the next fight was Tim Means versus Nico Price, which,
Yeah.
again, amazing fight. And
It sounds like my guy was winning.
it sounds like...
Until it was over.
Yeah, it sounds like Tim Means had Nico Price on the run from the very beginning. Was landing crisp punches, knees, got a good takedown.
Because he came out with, he came out with a takedown.
Yeah.
But Price got right back up.
Got it. But then Means
He
was
controlled the
elbowing
cage.
in, and he's landing good punches. And I know at one point there was a punch that rocked Nico, and his whole head spun around. But it seemed
He's
like...
one of those durable guys too.
It seemed like the more he got hit, the more fire that came out of this guy. And he was against the cage, and Means was landing good punches. And he just kind of, I think, got a little too aggressive and left himself open. And Price caught him with a good, like, just good hook, lead hook, right hand.
Right.
Right hand hook, boom, right on the chin. And the way Tim Means fell, he fell on his leg. And
Yep, and I was
snapped
hearing
his
about that on
ankle.
the podcast.
Yeah, I just read before.
I heard it was
got to the
injured
gym.
before the fight.
Oh,
so-
really?
Or maybe it was the Lewis fight. So one of these guys had an injury
before.
that they were worried about how long it was going to last.
Okay.
And I want to say it was Means because then you said that he had to get rushed into surgery.
Yeah, he had to have surgery for his leg, because it broke. But again, when he fell, that ankle twisted just.
See,
It
I
looked so.
kind of was having trouble reading and listening and writing.
Yeah,
and
yeah, today I just did a big play-by-play, read all the play-by-plays, and then I just went and watched all the highlights to see all of it. And these guys were freaking going at it. They were not. Again, Nico was getting rocked and moving backward, but there was no real back down or quitting this guy. He was staying in
Just
the
didn't
pocket,
stand up?
just trying to fight. Yeah.
So when I tell you I don't
Means
know
was
how to
all
back up?
over him. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we learned today during pads. But Means was all over him. And then again, he just kind of got a little too crazy, and Price ended up landing just that one punch, which a lot of times, especially in these fights with guys like this, where they both are so powerful and they're both so crisp with punches, it just takes one punch to land. And unfortunately, that's what happened to Means. And it seemed like his head and everything is fine, but again, when he fell, he broke that ankle, and he's gonna have to have surgery if he hasn't already had it. And so that sucks. I'm gonna put him out for quite a while, probably 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to get a boot.
And I'm almost certain now that this is the fight that they were talking about where there was an issue
some
before
kind of injury before.
that it must have fallen and it gave out and ripped or
Yep. And when he's going
What have
down,
you.
and he went down pretty hard. It wasn't one of those ones where he stumbled. As soon as he got hit, he went flat to the mat, and yeah, it was pretty rough. But big win for Nico Price. And looking forward to see what's next for this guy. I'd love to see him get in there with some guys and just roll it out. Maybe a Cerrone or someone of that caliber where they're gonna come in. But again, he was in a lot of trouble. So
now that fucking Cerrone and Mayweather isn't happening.
yeah, I don't know. I heard that Cerrone and Diaz agreed. Nate Diaz agreed to fight again.
185 and Dana White's gonna be like
Yeah, right. Dana White won't let that happen. But hopefully quick recovery to Tim Means, and best wishes to him. Again, just one of those things, man. You leave a little opening at this, especially at this level. You're on the main card, your co-main event. I mean, it just takes one punch and one little opening you leave for somebody, whether it's a submission or whatever it is, and you take advantage of it. Nico Price, whether people like to say it or not, I feel like he got lucky that night and landed that lucky punch, and
those don't happen.
It happened. I feel like it happened for this poor kid because he was in a world of hurt.
Right.
But again, just showed his durability, showed that he's willing to stick in there and keep throwing punches even if he's hurt or getting backed up. So, awesome fight. Really looking forward to Nico Price. And again, quick recovery to Tim Means and let him get back in there and do some good fights. So. But if we're going to, I guess, go a little bit off topic, Tim Means is a guy that actually got in trouble for steroids as well. But his was because he had a creatine or a protein that he was taking that was
It was
from...
a tainted supplement?
Yeah, it was a tainted supplement. And they went back and they tested a bunch of the supplements that was from this company and figured out
China?
that there was something in this, and in
Makes
this
sense.
company that... it was from some... I don't know if it was China exactly,
kidding.
but yeah, but that's most likely it. But it was, again, one of those substances.
That's why you have to
where
double
they were-
blind test.
Yep, yep. And they say that if you're gonna try anything with UFC or USADA, any of that, you gotta give it to them, send it to them. This is what I want to try, and then they'll test it. And not only will they test the batch you have, they'll go out and they get their own batches. And that's what they do with Tim Means. Tim sent in his batch. They tested it, found out what was in it. Then they went and tested 2 or 3 different, not from just the same store. They ordered from 3 different places, got the same exact stuff, and found all 3 the same thing. It had the same exact whatever chemical it was that he got busted for. And again, he didn't get any trouble for it or anything. I think he had like 6 weeks off or something where they were still trying to figure out
I
what
think
happened.
that they usually do that for like a 6-month suspension, is what I've heard.
Yeah, yep. And so he
And
got
usually by
back.
the time that they start the process to the end of it, by the time they sentence you or whatever you want to call it,
You
it
put your-
is only like a 4-week
You put your
suspension.
time in, yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
yeah. It sounds like he had got his lawyers and everything, and he was one of those guys that was like, look, dude, you can tell I'm not on steroids. Like, I don't look like I got the steroids. I'm not jacked. And so, and he was one of those ones that kind of just fell victim to the unfortunate buying, somewhere from like Walmart
Shit
or
luck.
something like that. Yeah. So if
Don't
you're gonna
buy
buy your
from
stuff,
Walmart.
test that shit. Like,
Just kidding.
make sure you're double checking. Like you said, double blind placebo tests are the best. At least Joe Rogan says that, so I believe anything.
Just
Joe
go to
Rogan
on
says.
it.
It was on the internet, and Joe Rogan
Hey,
said
if they
it, so
went
it's
on-
got to be true, right?
Yeah.
Right? Those are the 2 people you listen to, right?
I would never think Joe Rogan would lie to me.
No, he doesn't lie, and the internet's never lied to me. Has it? All right, so
Third
now
spot?
the next fight, though, it was awesome. I watched this highlights. Did you see the highlights for this fight?
I did not, but
Oh my god!
you know,
dude,
it
this
sounded
is
like
awesome.
Lewis came through for the first 2 rounds.
The first round was amazing.
Throwing head kicks, flying knees.
How the hell do these big guys throw head kicks and flying knees?
You know, I swear I've seen him do this before, though.
He has. Derek Lewis has. Yep.
Yeah, and have you ever seen that really fat guy? It's on YouTube, on some
He's like-
legend
he's
thing
a,
that does those
um,
spinning back kicks and
They
front
call him
kicks.
like the honey bear or something, right? He's a big black guy with dreads.
Yep.
Yeah, yep, he is. That dude throws 360 roundhouse kicks and all kinds of shit.
Derek, don't throw yourself out in the
Like,
first round.
Yeah. Unfortunately, seems what happened. But was it the second round? Maybe no, it was the first round. Dos Santos landed a spinning back kick, and it keeled Lewis over. But at first, it was one of those ones where he bent
It was
over
to
and
the
grabbed
body?
his knees. Yeah,
Yep,
to the body.
okay.
He bent over. Dos
He had
Santos
to prove-
rushed him, and he hucked the biggest overhand right you could ever. Missed Junior Santos' chin by just a bit. Hit him on the shoulder so hard that it knocked Junior Dos Santos back and started running. Derek Lewis stood up trying to run after him again, and in his stomach again. I was like, oh shit. So for like,
Do you
I
remember
wanna
when he
say
fought
35
Travis Brown? I believe it's
Yeah,
Travis
Travis Brown,
Brown.
he said
And he
yes,
got
yeah.
hit in the stomach. He was like,
Yeah, it's-
so he's like, you looked at me like that was hurt. He's like, no, I just said
like,
poop.
yeah. Yeah, but so
I
he was
love that
hurt.
guy.
Dude, he's one of the funniest. Dude, if you don't follow him on Instagram, follow him on Instagram. The best Instagram. Dude. People are getting jacked in car wrecks. People are getting attacked by alligators. He is the craziest. But he was hurt for I want to say 35 seconds. Like trying to be realistic, about 35 seconds where he was bending over and then just throwing punches, and then Dos Santos was all over him. And that's how that round ended. That first round ended.
Yeah, I heard
Dos Santos all over him. Him still killed over. They come out and it sounded, at least it looked like to me, and it sounded like when I read that body shot just took it out of him, and slowly he just kept slinking slower and slower.
Man with no
slower.
cardio gets punched and takes his cardio away.
Exactly, yeah. And those body shots kill people. And I wouldn't be surprised if he had, if not a bruised liver, broken rib, something, But they went at it.
Because Dos Santos is such a big dude.
And so muscular.
Tall and big.
And
Like, just.
honestly, I kind of discredited him on his body and stuff from some of the last fights I'd seen, but he looked like he was in very good shape for this fight.
Yeah.
He looked like he was great, and his chin looked like it was there. Like all things I was worried about, he proved me wrong completely, and I'm very very happy that he proved me wrong. Because again, I was worried about it was just took too much damage, and then, again him and Derek Lewis went at it. Lewis caught him a couple of good times where he was.
Yeah, I heard Lewis was brilliant.
So it was good, but. I think that body shot just kind of took a lot out of.
And he
Lewis's
even came out
cardio.
strong in the second round from what I read.
He did, but Junior again just landed a big overhand, kind of slowed him down a little
Well,
bit.
from what I read is that Lewis threw a head kick that nearly missed. Dos Santos came back with a 1-2, and that's what stunned Lewis, knocked him down, and then
Yep, he
Dos
got out
Santos
his
just
butt,
finished
came
on
up.
top, and he shelled up.
Yep, and he landed overhand against the cage, and that's when kind of Lewis went around, and when he went down, he kind of bent over again like he was in the first round, but Dos Santos wasn't having it. Just let him have it.
It's like,
The second he dropped to his knees, the ref was already getting ready to stop it. Just jumped right in. I think he maybe landed. I want to say he landed one punch, and the second one was like on Herb Dean's leg because he's already in the way. Which I was thinking, I was like, God, I want to ask Herb Dean how bad does that shit hurt in the way, and how a guy like Junior Dos Santos punch you in the back because right in the back of his calf, like it kind of felt good. Like I was surprised it was walking funny, but again, Dos Santos came out and he proved to everybody, me especially, he's still there and he's ready for another good test and another good fight.
Kane 3?
Oh God, please no.
Why?
Kane's so broken. I don't know.
Okay.
Oh God, that just makes me worry again. I feel like Doctor Drew here just like brought my face.
Dr. Drew's at your mom's house?
Yeah, you seen that? You seen his new podcast he has yet?
Yeah.
With Dr. Drew?
Yeah.
After Dark with Dr. Drew?
With Christina and Tom and Brian Redband?
Bobby Lee was on there?
I didn't watch it. I don't really like
Lee
him.
one. Bobby Lee one was good, dude.
Yeah.
Bobby Lee's so funny.
I guess I just haven't gotten into him yet.
But no, that's exactly how I feel. Like every time I see he's like, how about Kane Jr.? I'm like,
Dude, wait till we can bring videos of him.
I know, dude. That's so. That shit is coming, dude. It's gonna be so good.
Can we make this into like your mom's house podcast too?
It's gonna be a lot. Yeah, a lot of these will be like that.
Okay, because I got some stories.
Dude,
you know
it. I do too. Dax was like, bro, I gotta come back on and tell stories. Like, Travis, the same thing. Travis has got a bunch of rugby stories and shit he wants to come on
my
and tell.
hotel wrestling story.
Oh, yeah. You have those too? How many do you have? Because I have a lot.
Don't you remember me showing you my phone?
Yeah, but how many do you have?
That's the only one.
Just pussy. You gotta get out and live your life, Jay Polson. Live your best life. I have like 10 of them, dude. I have guys that are like, hey man, I saw you fight tonight. I bet you can take you. And be like, I bet you that beer you can't take me.
No,
yeah,
this is different.
Was it different?
You remember the old dude?
Oh, that hotel wrestling?
Yeah.
So you never really had hotel No, I really wrestled whole guys in a hotel. Yeah, no, I didn't think you were talking about the creepy guy. Yeah, that's for another day.
That's for another day.
Yeah. All right. So again, Derek Lewis. I mean, I think that's 2 losses in a row for him.
DC and Dos Anjos would be
That's 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Which
but he was coming off like a 6-fight win streak.
Yeah, and really good fights too. Obviously not the Nagano fight, but other than that, I mean, really good fights. He beat
Volkanov.
Yeah, which was awesome fight. You know, he's got some good wins under his belt.
Yeah. Ronda's husband.
Travis Brown.
Travis Brown.
Yep.
Nagano.
I mean, he has really good fights. So again, I don't think it's going to set him back any. He'll fight another top 10 guy.
And everybody loves him.
And
he'll be around.
Again, everybody loves him. Dos Santos is a guy that needs.
I heard that he drove off in like a Lamborghini or something.
I wouldn't fucking know it. How the fuck do you that big fit in a Lamborghini? He's a big man. He probably sits in both seats. Yeah. Or he's sitting in the driver's seat.
I heard they're comfy once you get in there.
Are they?
Yeah, they just look small.
Yeah, they do look really small. I'm a tiny guy, so I don't got to worry about that.
Right.
But again, Dos Santos, big ups to him, and hopefully he gets another good fight within the next 3 or 4 months and keeps the ball rolling because it was really good to see. You know, maybe he gets a guy like, you know, maybe Overeem or someone who's been out for a little while. Kane? Yeah, maybe Kane. We'll see. But we'll do the Dr. Drew. Just I don't know if I can look at it. So yeah, basically that was our rundown for that card, and again, an awesome card with some really good
Wichita.
fights. UFC Wichita. Big things we'll take from that is Maurice Green, Tony Martin, big wins.
Still got power.
Yep, heavyweight Powell's last thing to go. Dos Santos is still in it. Tim Means and Nico Price was a great fight. I'm guessing that fight might have won.
This was a good
fight
card
of the night. It was a very good card. And
ESPN's been getting pretty lucky.
Yeah, they've been having some really close fights too, and yeah, ESPN. You know, they haven't got any stinkers yet, which they're going to at some point. Obviously, it happens, but you know, this was again another really good card.
I mean, of course, there was those cards that we didn't really cover, but
yeah, a lot of fights too that a lot of people we don't know or that people didn't really stand out in or anything like that. These are the ones that kind of came home to us or were close to us. So again, big thanks to Santos. Looking for him next. Nico Price looking for him. See where he steps up. Maybe we'll get Ivanov and Alkhamedov. That'd be a good heavyweight showdown.
Yeah, first round, yeah.
And then hopefully we get Maurice up there. They threw him up in the mix of heavyweights, and he can kind of get up there. Maybe one day he'll be up there fighting Dos Santos. You know, hopefully not too soon. You know, let him get some more.
Right when he's on his way out the door.
Yeah, hopefully not then. So the next fight card we're gonna cover. We're just gonna cover 3 of the fights from this card. Again, it's a card where there's a lot of up and comers. Not a lot of guys.
Yeah, not a lot of big
people know,
names.
but it is UFC Fight Night London. Is that right? Is that
On
what it's called?
ESPN Plus.
Yep, ESPN Plus, and it is headlined by Darren Till versus Jorge Masvidal. I won't call him George again.
MASVIDAL.
Masvidal, which is gonna be a good fight. But the fight we'll start off with is Volkan versus Dominic Reyes. Again, Volkan is the guy that
I was trying to make that
fought-
right. That's why I didn't write his last
no,
name.
you're fine. Yeah, no, you're fine. He fought DC for the 205 belt. Got his way up there. He knocked out some good guys and got his way.
His
to
last two
DC.
fights was DC and Xander Smith.
Or Anthony Smith.
Anthony Smith.
Yeah.
Ha.
yeah. Which unfortunately lost his last two fights. But again, I mean, the guys
Top
he
three
fought
guys.
were
Top four guys.
the UFC champion or lightweight champion at the time. And then the guy he lost to next fight right away fought John Jones for the title.
Yep.
So it's like the two guys he lost to are, 1 and 2 right now, up there. Gustafson's in the
And the
mix.
fight before that he won, but I didn't write down who it was against. But
Yeah, no, yep, he did win that fight.
was it Manoa?
Yeah,
No, that was
Manuel,
Manuel.
Manuel, yep, he
Okay.
did beat Manuel, which is another great guy up there in top 5, top 6.
Yep.
And so Volkan, he had a couple setbacks, but this is a good fight to kind of see where he's
It's
at.
15-3 right now.
Yep, and the
So-
guy he's fighting now is Dominic Reyes, and he's 10-0. I think you wrote 9-0
9-0
there, but I think I seen his 10-0 today.
Okay.
So maybe that's just whatever.
Must have won last night.
Every website has a different number.
This is straight from the UFC. Dude.
But this
You
guy
know?
is 4-0 in the UFC at 205, and it's kind of the same thing like Volkan. He was kind of making his way up, and then he got a shot. So this is kind of to see where he's at. He beats Volkanov.
From his record, like it wasn't a
Volkan.
lot of big names, but
Yeah,
I'll-
no, kind
I'll-
of new. The same as him, kind of guys trying to make
St.
work their
Preux
way up.
is kind of a big name.
Yeah, and St. Preux was his last fight, which was a good test. St. Preux had been in there with John Jones, right?
Yep.
And
I believe St. Preux beat somebody else.
or
too.
no, did he fight John
Yeah.
Jones? He did fight
It
John
was his
Jones.
first
right?
fight back
Right,
from
that was one of John
suspension
Jones'
the
looked
first
rusty.
time. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was making sure.
First
it
or
was him.
second time, I don't remember which.
I wasn't sure if it was him or Derek Bronson, but yeah, I think it was Olaf.
Well,
but yeah,
Derek Bronson's 85, isn't he?
is he 85er?
Because
Okay.
didn't he just fight that guy that fought Anderson Silva?
Oh yeah, he did.
Stylebender.
Fight. Yep, Stylebender beat him up. That's right. Yep,
Yep.
85ers. So yeah, but again, Reyes 4-0. Looks like he's won. I think 5 or 6 of the fights are like KO, 2 of them were like submission. So it looks like he finishes people. Again, 9-0, 4-0 in the UFC right now. So this is gonna be a really good matchup. We're just gonna kind of do our quick picks. My quick pick again is gonna be Volkan, just because I've seen him fight. He's a durable guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna
He
take
had,
Logan
he had a
too.
rough go with DC and with Smith, but again, those are the two guys that are in their prime right now. They're
Hard
at the
test.
top of their games. So, hopefully, and again, I don't know much about Dominic Reyes, but again, it would probably just be another fight where it'll be a little step back and he'll start making his way back up there again. But again, from what I've seen and what I've read, I'm going to go with Volkan.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
You know,
Just because his last 3 fights, Manoa, DC, and Smith,
Manoa
was-
tough fights.
good. And
Yeah,
his last
Manoa's
2
very good.
hard tests. So
Yeah.
it's nothing to feel bad about.
The next one you can go ahead and cover.
Leon Edwards
Yep.
versus Gunnar Nelson. Leon is a fucking sorry, my mind is starting to drift. This cuz game.
Cut weight. Yeah. Good to meet you.
Leon Edwards, I think his last 3 fights are all wins.
Yep. His last one was against Cowboy Cerrone.
Cowboy Cerrone. And Gunner's last fight was against Cowboy too.
Yeah, Cowboy all
Mexican
there. Yeah.
Cowboy?
Yep. Or Brazilian. Is he Brazilian? One of the two.
Just kidding. Sorry guys. Leon, he's a power puncher, brawler.
Yeah.
Cause I was just watching a highlight too, knock somebody out. Dude. Anyways, Gunnar Nelson, Connor's guy.
Yep.
He's on a
Good ground
2 or
game,
3
too.
fight winning streak. Also, I
Yeah,
want to
but
say
he has pretty good experience in the UFC right now.
he's from Iceland, so you know he's a monster.
Iceland. And his workouts are pretty intense.
Yeah, he.
His,
What is it, like a Pilates?
Yeah, it's like a Pilates mixed with like Rich Simmons.
Yeah.
A little bit.
So I mean,
They're definitely sweating to the oldies, and you can only have a
it's that
onesie
hip
on.
hop, dude.
Yeah, yeah, he's popping those hips. We should share that to our Instagram too. We will when we post this. We'll share that because
See, I
that's
still want to
hilarious.
say stuff on Instagram. Like, how
Oh
do you-
really? Send it to me.
I don't know how to do life. It's
Because
cool.
that must have been on his Instagram, right?
It's on the
UFC's
UFC's.
Instagram.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So just send it to me.
I
and I'll
messaged
post
it too.
It's in my. All right, yeah.
It's in your inbox.
Well, you sent me so many damn
Dude, but
videos.
just
I try to
fucking-
watch them all. I just
Never
I
pay
can't-
attention.
CTV, bro. I can't forget.
Don't
I
you
can't
care?
remember all this stuff. I do some days. Most days I don't care.
No, but this is the 170 fight, probably within the. I believe they're both within the top 10.
Definitely.
Leon 16-3, Gunner 17-3.
This is gonna be a top 5 for sure. The winner of this is gonna be a top 5.
Yeah,
for sure.
because 170 divisions
It's pretty
mean right
stacked.
now.
Yeah, it's pretty stacked.
Especially with Till losing, or not Till, but
Woodley losing.
Woodley losing.
Yeah,
That
Robbie
opened up
just lost.
everything for everybody.
Askren just joined.
And
Usman looks like a freaking animal. Who's gonna beat that guy? Like Jesus.
I think
We
one of these
got,
top two guys fighting right now.
We got numbnuts too. What's his face?
That guy,
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Kobe.
Yeah, Kobe Covington. You know he's in the mix. So yeah, I mean it's very, very stacked. The 170 for a while. Yeah, 55, 45. Those are the classes to keep your eye on. But I think right now 170 is where it's at to keep your eye on. That 170.
Sadly, I only see one of these guys from the main event staying at 170 though.
You think so?
Yeah.
Think the other ones are gonna go up or down?
Up.
Yeah, I think so too. I would. But yeah, so if I'm gonna pick, I'm gonna go with Gunner just because I know Gunner is a
Damn it, I
grinder.
always pick the guy I want.
Well, fucking, I'll pick Leon. No. Well, again.
No, I like Gunner because like he's got that power wrestling. You know, he's good with his stand up, and
He's
he
got
just.
good stand up style.
I love his like. Dead to the world emotion.
Right.
If that makes sense.
No, definitely. He's
You know-
in there. He's in there for business and business.
Like the
only.
fact that he made a funny video
Yeah.
made my day.
Yeah, and then we watched it before this, and that was awesome. But yeah, it's a guy too that he enjoys his life, but when it comes to this is what counts, and he's gonna put his all into this. And I definitely think that he's on his way up. Again, Leon, I don't know much about it. I know he has some really good power and some really good stand up, but I think if Gunner gets a hold of him, he'll be able to kind of just nullify that takedowns and stuff, or that stand up with his takedowns. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Gunner.
Damn it, me too.
But hey, man, that's how it goes sometimes. You know, we want to be right. We don't always want to be wrong. And I was wrong quite a few in the last one, so I want to make sure that I get some back here. All right, so the next one, go ahead, Darren Till versus Jorge Masvidal, which is going to be an awesome fight, I believe.
I think brawls.
I
see,
so.
like, it's complicated because, like, I don't think Darren Till's a brawler.
Tries
and
not
I
to.
don't know how he's gonna come back after losing to Woodley.
Because he had a good fight with Woodley, you know, when
He did not have a good fight
second
against
round. I guess no, but
Was it? Did it get to the second round?
I think it went to the third round, right? I think he got caught in the third round, second or third round. But it seemed like again he just.
But
got
anyways, in
shot.
that fight, we learned that Till does not have any ground game.
No,
It was like it was a good Darce, all right, whatever. But there was no real setup. It just kind of like walked right into it.
Right, and you see what, and you know, not discounting any of these two guys, but you see what Usman did to Woodley, what Woodley did to Till. It's like,
Yeah.
kind of that was a.
But
trickle down
Masvidal is coming off 2 losses.
effect. Yeah.
Thompson and Maya, which
And
Till beat Thompson.
Yep. Which.
And then they both beat Cowboy,
Yeah, they both beat Cerrone.
which is.
Masvidal, he's a brawler. He comes out to fight.
Yeah, because you were saying that he came up under.
Yeah, he came out
Kimbo?
in Florida with Kimbo on those street fight
YouTube street
videos. Yeah,
fights?
YouTube street fights, and that's where he kind of got his first notoriety. Then he came up and he was in Strike Force for a little while, I believe, and now UFC. But
Because he's got
been
that
around,
mean
32
power.
and 13, and and he had 30 fucking fights on the street or whatever we know about.
Those
He's
count as
still
pro
looking
fights?
one. Yeah, they count. I mean. But you can look those up too, and see them. But I
Dude,
just
my
don't know.
record's way better, dude.
Is it?
If we count those street pro fights.
Oh yeah, man.
Just good.
Can we start counting those?
Alright.
I don't know if that works. So Till versus Masvidal. When I think about it, I think it's actually a very close matchup. Stylistically, it's pretty close. And they're not really two guys.
I didn't
that get
realize
knocked
Till's
to the
only
ground.
loss was to Woodley.
Yeah, his only loss. Yep, he was 17-0. And it was one of those things too. And Woodley told him, he was like, "I was the same way. I thought I was unstoppable. I thought I was invincible. I got my first loss, and I realized what it's like and what."
You know,
it
I hope
takes."
that brings him back stronger because I was watching a couple of his workout videos and coming in. He looks good. He looks sharp.
Till?
You know, I hope he worked on his ground game a little bit. I mean, but even though at that point it's like I don't see Masvidal taking him down or going for the takedown.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Is I don't see him do that, and maybe clinching against the cage, trying to beat him up, kneeing him, elbows. But Yeah, I don't see it going to the
I
ground.
see him more going into that dirty box.
Yep, exactly, that dirty fight. And I think Masvidal's best chance of winning would be to make that dirty, grueling
Because you
fight.
want to get on the inside with a guy as long as big as Till. Because like what we were just talking about is like, I don't see Till staying at 170 for very, very long. Because they've already been talking about him going.
He says he makes it pretty easy, but he's such a big guy, dude. I couldn't imagine it's good on his body.
Yeah.
So, all right, you take the first pick since I always go first. You pick
I'm gonna take Till.
Till? Okay.
I think that he's gonna come back with a point to prove.
Right. And, I mean, he is only coming off one loss as to where Masvidal's coming off two, so it's definitely the better's pick, to pick Till. I'm going to take Masvidal just because I like his style and how aggressive he is. And, again, that way we got one where we're not agreeing, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'll take Masvidal. And how do you think Till's going to win if he does win? Because it's a 5-round main event, so I think Till will take it all 5 rounds. I think he'll catch him at some point. What do you think?
I think he's gonna take this as a smart fight. He's gonna take back because he's got that kind of Thompson sit back kind of karate, He's gonna sit back, pick apart, and I think he's gonna take it to a 5-round decision.
Yeah, if I take Masvidal, I'm taking Masvidal, but if I take it, I think he'll do like a 3rd round TKO.
Yeah.
If
Masvidal wins, it's gotta be a knockout.
He might catch like a submission. Maybe he'll rock Till will go down, and again. We've seen Till as at least in the Woodley fight
point.
he didn't really show anything, but
then,
it's hard because
when you have somebody like Woodley on you,
and when you see a guy like Woodley go against a guy like Usman, where it looked like Woodley had no ground game, so it's every fight, every fight could be different. Maybe he was so rocked too in that fight because I know he got caught with a big overhand.
And then you got pressure fighting for the title.
Yep, and
you only 6 fights into the UFC.
Yeah, 17. You finally get that shot. You get in there, and the guy's way stronger, tougher than you thought he was gonna be. There's a lot to it, but. Yeah, it's gonna be a good fight for both these guys. But honestly, I think if whoever loses this fight, it's gonna be really hard for them to come back, especially if Masvidal loses.
I think if Till loses, he's still kind of in contention in talk of stuff.
But if he
Masvidal
loses twice at 70, like how's that gonna make a justification for going up to 85? Will he say like their weight cut was too much, I just couldn't perform? There's probably gonna be those excuses, but. At the end of the day, are those really what's going on?
Right.
With Masvidal, he's been on 170 for a while. Him and Bisping had a big thing for a while. They're kind of.
I heard they were gonna be friends now.
I heard Bisping's trying to, but Masvidal's one of those guys.
I don't think he's the guy that has very many friends.
Yeah, Masvidal doesn't seem very friendly. Again, that's why I like that rugged style. And he's gonna make it. Hopefully, to win, he's gonna make it a dirty fight, get in Till's head and kind of make Till frustrated. So yeah, I'd say Masvidal by 2nd or 3rd round TKO. That's what I'm gonna go with. Is there anything else you want to cover before we get out of here?
There's one thing that I want to talk about because I just heard about it.
Yep. You always have something new, so I was gonna ask. Yeah.
I think that they're gonna make the fight we wanted.
I heard that. Yep, Anthony Smith versus Gustafsson.
Yeah.
Right? I seen that. They're
within 48 hours.
Let's call him that, right?
Well, I think it was something that Anthony Smith mentioned that he wanted to take a year off, take a break.
Oh, okay.
The UFC came back 48 hours later, like, hey, do you want to fight Gus? I
think
he's going to do it.
And I heard...
Because I only watched a clip of the interview.
See, I didn't see the interview, I read
it's on the Hawani ESPN show.
Yep, Hawani, yep. And what I seen was that Gustafsson said that he wants to fight Smith because if he loses Smith, then he probably... should retire and he probably doesn't have it anymore.
I'm like, that's a good call. And
it's very, very good call.
It's cool to see him realize that going into the fight.
Right.
He's
very smart. And he's a smart guy. And you hear him talk and stuff too, and he's real methodical.
If you can understand him.
Yeah. He is, but I don't know, man. He's one of those guys that I look forward to fighting every single time. So same with Anthony.
Like maybe it's not one of those things like where he doesn't have it. It's just he realizes that he's never gonna be the world champion.
He's always the C fighter.
He's
there's
the number
John
3
Jones,
guy.
A, D, C, B, and he's always gonna be C.
Yeah.
Always gonna be that 3rd in line. And if those 2 guys are there, at least right now, he's not gonna do it. He's not getting any younger.
Yeah, exactly. Because he's been around for.
And I'm sure
a long time, guys.
He's been a long time guy. And I'm sure he's made enough money that he's sitting pretty well.
He's in Europe.
And he's smart enough too that he's probably invested a little bit. And, he's
probably owns Sweden by now.
He probably might own the whole Denmark. I don't know.
Is he from Denmark?
Isn't Denmark and Sweden the same thing?
I don't think so. I think Scandinavia.
Are you sure?
They're 2 different countries.
Do
I
they
know
touch?
that.
That was the thing we're retarded yet. Are we allowed to say that?
You said the R word.
Oh man. Alex Jones says Alex Jones says that I can say it. Oh man. Speaking of that, did you see Dr. Phil, Alex Jones?
Yeah.
Off topic, that was great video. If you haven't seen that, I'll post that on my Instagram as well. And on my Facebook page. But yeah, so looking forward to Gustafsson versus Smith. Hopefully that goes through. Again, this is just talk. The UFC is just trying to make it happen, which would be a perfect fight for that 205 division.
Yeah.
And I think is
then
Gus
where do you
coming
go
off a
from there?
loss? Is Gus coming off a loss?
John Jones.
John Jones, right? So they'd both be coming off the John Jones, right? That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I thought that was right. Yeah, so that'd be a great fight for both these guys. And hell, who knows? Maybe Gus will go up to heavyweight. You know, screw it. Stop cutting weight, make a heavyweight fight and get some money. But
Just
again,
thinking about all this right now, like from 145 to heavyweight, everything seems stacked right now.
Right.
85 is a little questionable for me just because I don't know a lot of them.
yeah.
But other than that, there's a lot of good matchups to be made.
Very good, very good. Yeah.
We got a lot to
of
cover.
good guys coming up, yeah, and coming up soon, we'll have a lot of good fights to cover. And again, we only did 3 fights this next card, but the card after that, when we come back and do our recap, we'll have a big card just of our picks for those. And
Because I think we were going to actually have a pay-per-view to cover after
that's coming
this
up
one.
pretty soon, right? It's got to be a pay-per-view. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly who's on it yet, but we'll get back to everybody and check on it. But yeah, but this fight again, Till versus Masvidal's very, very good fight. Leon versus Gunner is another good fight, and Vulcan versus Dominic Reyes. You know that's gonna be a good test
Good
for both
heavyweight
those
fight.
guys.
Or 205 fight.
Yep. So that's gonna be a good
That's
test
what
for
I
those
said,
guys. And they're right in there too with Anthony Smith and
Yeah.
Gus, and so that'd be a big mix. And again, a lot of these weight classes are so stacked right now: 45, 55, 70, 205 heavyweights. You know, they're trying to do heavyweight versus Brock versus DC. You know, they're John Jones talking about going to heavyweight. You know, there's so many great matchups coming up right now. So
I think they're trying to talk about John Jones going there, but I don't think he's
I don't think
actually
he's
quite
going
yet.
to. Yeah. I think he still has some. But again, like, who the hell is he going to fight at 205? You know, maybe who has
Yeah,
the
who's
beat
the
up that he's
next?
going to fight it. Anthony Smith was the next guy. And, you know, after that, it's I don't know.
Because I seen he got dropped to number 4.
Jones
Uh,
or Smith.
Smith.
That makes sense. Yeah, he's probably right around, but I mean, he's still definitely top 5. Had some great wins coming up. You know, I don't think that this loss it's John Jones. It's hard to take credit from anybody when they go in the last 5 rounds of John Jones. You know,
Right.
Gus did it. You know, there's only a few guys that did it. DC couldn't do it. You know, and not taking anything away from DC or anything, but he couldn't do it twice.
Right.
All these guys stuck in there and
But that was
stayed in
steroid
with him.
Jones. Just kidding.
Whatever. So yeah, is there anything else you got, bud?
I believe that's it.
That's it. All right. What do you got?
My underline? For you?
Oh yeah. That's coming. That's coming.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's coming. So again, this is our rundown on the Prodigy,
Magic Man.
and again, we're gonna do these. I think this is our 3rd episode. So if there's anything you guys want us to cover on any of these, again, they don't have to be just fight cards. They can be IBJJF cards. They could be Eddie Bravo's. You know, they could be anything you guys want us to cover. Combat Jiu-Jitsu, yeah, any of those things. Any things you guys are interested in, you know, send us feedback because we're always looking at something to cover. And again, most people aren't probably UFC fighters or fans or any of that. So if you're into something else that we can cover, we can talk about, we're definitely willing to talk about
Test
that.
my knowledge.
It's big news for the podcast again. We just got our first sponsor, which is
So exciting.
Precision Detailing here in Rochester.
That's because I can't spell very good.
No, it's fine. We were trying to say it earlier, but we messed it up too. So again, Precision Detailing here in Rochester. They have a good Facebook page. I know the guy personally. His kid trained our gym. He's a very good person, Justin is, and you know, he's gonna be on the podcast eventually. We're gonna talk about kind of his story and what's going on with his
He's got
kids
an
and stuff like
interesting
that.
story.
He has a very good story, and so does his daughter as well. So we'll kind of get into all that and bring awareness to all that and stuff. And so that's coming up in the podcast soon. But again, thanks Precision Detailing for being our first sponsor and jumping on board with us and getting behind us. Yeah, it means a lot to us. And again, with their sponsorship, now we're gonna be able to get all the audio equipment we needed. We're still looking at talks for another couple more sponsors I'm meeting with coming up here this weekend. Their investment's coming through again. I think it's going to be like the 18th to the 19th of this month. So then we're going to be able to get our computer, all the audio equipment, and everything's going to be different now. We won't be using the phone. We won't be using this mic anymore. Everything's going to be upgraded, so it's going to be awesome. And eventually, hopefully, we'll have some dual cameras where we're not just one angle. We're kind of going back and forth. And then right now I'm gonna change my whole room up and everything, and we're gonna try doing some.
We have a studio?
Yeah, we're gonna try doing a little bit of studio in my room again. When we, I'll take out my bed and all that stuff, but we'll make it into maybe we do the fight companion. I'll rent some fights, we'll watch the fights, and we'll just kind of sit around the table in my room and just kind of bullshit. Maybe have some beers or whatever it is everybody likes to do or whatever, and then have some fun doing that. Just kind of make some more stuff of this, get some more people on. Try to get Dax in, Travis back on. You know, when they get some more time and stuff. And again, I want to get some of the guys, Jason, some of the other guys at the gym. We have so many people at the gym that I want to get on that hopefully we get on. And then
I forgot I do have one more thing.
What's that, boss?
Dude, you have a fight this weekend.
I do?
Yeah.
Me? I'm fighting?
We should talk about before this.
No, we'll get into that. But again, a lot of stuff's coming for the podcast. We're going to hopefully, once we get the new equipment, we'll get Brock Larson on. Hopefully, Maurice Green and Tony Martin at some point. I'd love to get Kayla Harrison again, who is dating or with Tony. I don't know if they're married or what it is, but she's the only American to ever win gold in judo. So that's huge.
Fuck you, Rhonda.
Yeah. So again, you know, we have a lot of great things coming. And just real quick before we get out of here, me and Jay, we have some stuff coming up. This weekend, I actually have a 145-pound grappling tournament. It's called BJJ in the Cage from Valhalla Combat Sports. You can look them up on Facebook, and they'll have all the information. Right? Yep, it's in Fridley, Minnesota. Right in their gym, it's like a little open house gym tournament.
And they have some kickboxing fights.
Yep, it's gonna be 30. I think they said it's around 30 jiu-jitsu matches, and then 5 or 6 kickboxing matches to end the night.
Because it's heavyweight tournament and a 45 tournament.
Heavyweight and 45. Yep.
Some other rounds.
And then they just have like 2 or 3 just regular wrestling matches, just like high school wrestling or folk style wrestling matches. Then they're gonna have some jiu-jitsu, just exhibition jiu-jitsu matches in between like the tournament stuff. Then they had the big heavyweight tournament as well. Some good kickboxing matches. I know you said that a couple of guys you went up and trained with.
A couple guys from Ironworks that did some rounds with last weekend.
Shout out to Ironworks. And I know Austin Healich is in the heavyweight tournament, so that's going to be awesome. So hopefully at the end, me and Austin will be on and we'll be able
Wasn't Travis just saying his opponent dropped or something?
No. That was for his MMA fight at Three Rivers. But that was a big misunderstanding. We'll talk about that after. That was a big misunderstanding.
Okay, yeah. Travis told me about that.
They thought he had a seizure, but really he's an ENT.
He was saving the guy.
Working somebody who had a seizure. Yeah. So there was a big misunderstanding on that. But again, hopefully me and Austin will both win that, and then I can get Austin in here and we can talk about the tournament and stuff. And again, he's fought Bellator, so that's another guy I'd like to get on here too. He's bronze at the Worlds in judo. So another guy that we'd love to get on here too. He's got a pretty good following, and he's got a fight coming up as well.
I remember my last week cut. I didn't like him for a couple of minutes because
after
but
that little bit of weight.
That was just because I was hating everybody in life.
And he's a hard nosed man.
He got me through that cut.
He honestly did. Bear, pig, we'll get some. He's got some really good stories too, I'm sure. So we'll get him on. And
he's from Wisconsin. So crazy.
Wild out there hunting. Crazy, fucking living out in the woods. And then big news, bigger than mine even, because mine's just a little juice tournament that, I kind of love him. But our buddy, the Magic Man here, is actually making his pro debut March 23rd in Austin, Minnesota. If you're anywhere in the Minnesota area, you want to get tickets, you want to go to the fight, contact Jay on his Facebook, his personal Facebook page, his actual fan Facebook page, which is Jay the Magic Man Polson. You can hit up me for tickets if you want to get through Jason or Jay. Any of the guys at the gym will have contact info if you know any of those people. Any of the Wow Look At Me Now stuff, any of the Instagram, any of that stuff, just get a hold of us. Jay has plenty of tickets he's going to get rid of, and any little bit helps. It's his pro debut, 2-time amateur champion, coming to look to make a bunch of big noise in this 155 division as a pro, and make some money while doing it. Right, get all the damn years of hard work and getting out there and working and fighting for free.
It's supposed to pay off now, right?
Yeah, it's gonna start paying off, and all your hard work, man, is definitely paying off. And and as a guy, I've seen him grow up, and I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy that it's finally happening. I gotta watch you win 2 belts. Now we're gonna see you make your pro debut, work your way up to winning that pro title, and then the sky's the limit. So big ups to you and good luck to you on that, and I'm just proud to be one of your training partners and be able to be in here with you and and help you succeed.
I've learned everything I know from you, dude.
I wouldn't go that far, but I mean we've definitely traded a lot of secrets and a lot of little stuff. Obviously, a lot of our success as well goes to our coach Dan and Coach Tane as well for having this whole facility and this whole great group of people together. So thank you guys, and if anybody's interested in where we train at, I'm sure we talk about it a lot, but I don't know if we've actually ever said the gym name or anything like that. It's Imperial Training Center. You can look us up.
Rochester, Minnesota.
Yeah, we're here in Rochester. We're actually becoming pretty quickly the biggest jiu-jitsu.
Pretty sure we already are.
I mean, we're close. We're damn close. We're not, but we're gonna be the best, and our goal is to be the best martial arts academy here in Rochester in the Southeast.
Minnesota, man.
You know, yeah, and eventually, you know, hopefully we can overtake the academy and have other academies around. But again, if you're looking to do any kind of jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, or learn some kind of self-defense, your kids want to do some kind of boxing classes, any of that stuff, get a hold of me, Jay Polson as well. He'll do some private lessons, or just get a hold of Imperial Training Center on Facebook. We have a website again. It's Imperial Training Center. You can just Google that, and all the info will come up on that. And again, big thanks to Justin and Precision Detailing for being our first sponsor and jumping on board, and just kind of having faith in what we're doing and where we're going from here. So thank you guys. Again, I'm Ryan, the Prodigy Stock.
Magic Man, Jay
Paulson. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. So thank you guys for tuning in.
Peace.